So today we are focusing on GCSE English Language, and our learning question today is, how do I structure my answers? That's a big one that a lot of you may be asking. So I'm here to answer that question today. And a second one could be, what do I need to write about? Sometimes we get stuck on the writing section. So let's begin. So first of all, I would like to look at the differences between the how and explain questions. So, what are you being asked to do in an explain question, and what are you being asked to do in a how question? So let's start by looking at the how questions. So this always needs you to explore language and the devices used, commenting clearly on the effect it has upon the reader. And I think in the language questions, once you're able to explore all the devices and comment on the language used, and then look at the reader effect, you're really on the right track to getting a good grade, one of the high grades. The second thing, in the explain part of the Peter paragraphs, so I like to use the Peter acronym to really structure your analysis, especially if you're struggling to really explore your answers. So it's really good to have a structure. So in the explain part of the Peter paragraphs, you need to relate how the word or the device makes the target audience feel, and you also need to link this to the writer's purpose and the writer's views. Okay, I would like to share a model for you on how to structure and how to go about answering these how questions for fact and opinion. So I have put on a template that you can use in your own analysis, and I'll talk you through it. So you start with the writer, and it's really good to start your answers with the writer and then develop it from there. So the writer clearly believes that, and you'd put your point. So that would be your point. What does the writer believe? What is the text or the source saying? And you put your point there. Then you need to choose a fact. So as I said before, we're looking at the fact and opinion. That's our technique in the Peter. So he uses the fact, and you would find an example of a fact and put it on the line there. Then the word or phrase. So after we've put the whole quote with the fact in it, we're going to embed a word or phrase that we think is the most important word or the most significant word in that quotation that we just gave. So the word or phrase, and we say what the word or phrase is, makes the reader feel, and you need to put in, what does it make the reader feel? Really be perceptive as you can when you're putting that in here. It is clear that the writer believes. So this is the bit of your explanation part that you have started. I know this because, and I always tell my students that because I'm looking throughout your analysis to see how many becauses you have used. And the reason for this is because follows an explanation. So every because is going to answer the why. It's really essential for you to put in that analysis. Why has the reader felt like that? Why has the writer used this word or phrase? On the other hand, so we're using our discourse markers or connectives to really structure our response. So on the other hand, the writer uses the opinion, and what you're going to find an example of an opinion here to put on that line. The reference to clearly is used to lead the reader to believe or to feel or to think something, and the use of the opinion is to show. So really a developed explanation. Another thing that you need to be aware of and be confident in doing is answering your comparative questions. Now, you will be asked to compare how language is used in both sources, and that is something that some students find difficult. How is language used in source A and source B? You will also be asked to explore how the language choices appeal to the reader. It is vital that you compare to obtain one of the top grades. So it is vital that you compare both sources in order to obtain one of the top grades. So I've also included an example to help you. So to help you get to grips with the language comparative question or the language comparison question. So here goes. Both source A and source B are designed to appeal to. So you could first start by comparing the audience that they are designed to appeal to. I know this because, and remember I spoke about the because will really help you to put in that explanation. I know this because of the use of. So you would find some evidence to support why you have said the target audience is what it is. The target audience of the sources are, and then source A uses, so this is evidence as shown in, right? So you have source A uses, that's your technique, and then your evidence is as shown in, and then you put your evidence. And then we're going to embed a word that is really significant and important to the quotation. So the word makes the reader believe that, and that is your reader effect. Clearly the writer wants the reader to believe that. And of course, we need to compare. So you see your comparative connective follows, and you could use likewise, similarly, in addition, source B uses, and you're going to talk about what are some of the things they use in order to support the point you made. Words such as, that would be evidence, are deliberately used to enforce the writer's views that. What is the writer's view in source A? You really need to be clear and definitive about that and put that in your response. These words convince the reader by. And then you could also add your reader effect. So we've come to the end of the language part of the paper, section A. And for my next video, please join me. We'll be looking at section B, and we'll be looking at the acronym APTF, which is audience, purpose, tone, and form. Because for the questions in section B, you need to identify your audience, your purpose, your tone, and your form. Please join me next time. Until then, stay blessed.